Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all well. Thanks for tuning in for another main video on the channel. Starting to upload these more regularly now than I did towards the back end of last year. So with the season ending in a few weeks time, a few months time, which sad for us all, at least we've got the Euros to look forward to. There's already players being linked to moves away from their club, so I thought I'd go for every Premier League club and see who is next to be sold, who the club are going to profit from, so they're going to get a next big transfer fee. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Arsenal, Martin Odegaard. Yeah, there's quite a few Arsenal players who probably could have been on this list, but I don't think Bukayo Saka is the type who we've seen in the past to move to a rival Premier League club at least. So I went for Martin Odegaard. Burst onto the scene when he was 16 years old, signed for Real Madrid, didn't quite work out. He went on loan to Sociedad. He's now one of the best creative midfielders in the world, plying his trade at Arsenal. Just got a feeling if Real Madrid did come in with a big offer for Arsenal, would they accept, and would Odegaard want to go back to try, unfinished business and prove a point that he can succeed at, the top elite level for Real Madrid? Aston Villa, Douglas Luiz. There's already rumours that Aston Villa are going to have to sell one of their key assets for FFP and profit and sustainability rules. Ollie Watkins was another shout, but I'm going to go for Douglas Luiz. Been excellent for Villa this season, one of their standout players. He's good set pieces, takes the penalties. Also, though, he has been linked with a big money move in the past. Failed move to Arsenal on deadline day, I think, a couple of seasons ago. He was at Manchester City, who had a release clause that has now expired. So, if Man City did need a replacement or need another midfielder, could they then go in for Douglas Luiz, who they know who has the calibre to be that next big player? Brentford, Ivan Toney. Yeah, most obvious one on the list. Ivan Toney will not be at Brentford after the summer transfer window. He's already said that he looks like he's going to leave. Thomas Frank said the same thing. Keeps saying that, that was the interview where he tongue-in-cheek about, if Real Madrid came calling, he will leave at some point. Brentford obviously aren't going to let him go on the cheap. Their star man and their main source of goals. So, yeah, pretty simple. Brighton, Evan Ferguson. Yeah, Evan Ferguson's not really had the season he probably wanted to have as he was last season when he was bursting onto the scene. After that hat-trick against Newcastle, he's gone really a bit quiet, but he's still a hot prospect. There's been links with, the likes of Man U, I think Spurs in the past as well. So Brighton are the kings of nurturing players and selling them on for big profit. I think he'll be the next one, regardless if he, even if he scores a few goals, I think clubs will be keeping tabs on him. Bournemouth, Dominic Solanke. Didn't really go for Alex Scott on this one, but I do think Dominic Solanke probably will leave soon. I don't think Bournemouth want to sell him, but I do think if a bigger offer came in, it would tempt their hand. There's been links to West Ham. He's had a great season. Sometimes, of course, that does trick clubs into buying players who, say one season wonder. That's how it sounds a bit disrespectful to Solanke because he has had a great season. But you know what I mean. They have one good season, then they go for big money and then can't do it elsewhere. But I do think that Dominic Solanke will get some good income for Bournemouth in the coming seasons. Burnley, Sander Berge. Yeah, bit of a hard one for Burnley. Obviously the season that they've had. If there are any Burnley fans watching, let me know who do you think has been your standout player who could sell. Luke Koleosho is one up and coming talent. I'm going for Sander Berge. Before he went to Sheffield United, he was linked with some top clubs in Europe. You don't get linked with top clubs in Europe if you're not a top player. Chelsea, Conor Gallagher. Yeah, this is probably a strange one people probably think on this list, but Conor Gallagher will be the next big name to leave Chelsea. Chelsea got loads of youngsters, like Cole Palmer was the one I thought, but last few transfer windows have been linked with Spurs despite playing for Chelsea nearly week in, week out. I think they might revisit that in the summer. If Spurs do pay the money, Chelsea are, like say for example, 50 million plus, Chelsea aren't going to turn that down. For Crystal Palace, Michael Elise. Yeah, it's out between him and Eze, isn't it? The crown jewels in Crystal Palace at the moment. Didn't think you'd get another player since Zaha left, but although Eze's been injured this season, there's already been links with Elise to Chelsea nearly got him last season. Man United a big interested in him as well. So yeah, it won't be long before Elise is probably on the move. It's just a case whether or not if that release clause does come into effect. If it does, then Palace probably won't get as much as they probably wanted for Elise, but they'll still get a decent sum. Everton, Jared Branthwaite. Yeah, simple. Breakout season, got into the England squad, already linked with moves away. Do Everton need to sell for the profit and sustainability rules that they've already been burned once, potentially twice for, and FFP? That's the same thing, but you know what I mean. Definitely will be on the move. Just depends how much. They sold John Stones for 50 million. in this day and age as well, probably could they get another 20 million on top of that. There's been rumours that's his price tag. But yeah, he won't be at Everton for much longer, I feel. Fulham, João Palhinha. Yeah, and then another simple one, João Palhinha. He's a great midfielder for Fulham. Fulham fans love him. Linked with Bayern Munich last year, nearly went there. Didn't move. The work didn't move out. Sorry. Then, of course, he signed a new contract. There's no release clause, interestingly, in that new contract that he signed. So Fulham, if a club did come calling, like West Ham apparently were interested, Bayern Munich, if they did come back, Fulham could demand any fee they want. Liverpool, Mo Salah. Yeah, this might be a controversial one, but for the reasoning, I think with obviously Liverpool now, with Klopp leaving, saying that he's now stepping down at the end of the season, a new manager coming in. There was already interest in Salah last season from the Saudi Pro League. He's getting on a bit. If Liverpool are to win the league this season and the cup, the Europa League, sorry, should I say, is Salah going to want to say he's completed it all? He's won all the trophies. Go to Saudi for a few years, play low-level football, secure the bag. And if Liverpool get and like Ronaldo when he went a few seasons ago for 100 million plus, are Liverpool going to turn that down? Luton, Alfie Doughty. Yeah, Luton was a hard one. There's not many players that I did think that they'd get a decent fee for, but I'm going to go for Alfie Doughty. I think he had a great breakout season, 7 assists in the Premier League. People are saying that if he didn't play for Luton, he'd be a shoo-in for England for the Euro 2024 squad, considering how short England are at left-back. If Luton do go down, I do think someone will come in and poach him for that left-back spot for their club. Man City, Erling Haaland. Yeah, Man City are going to get figures for players left, right and centre, but the one that they'll probably get the most for, of course, is Erling Haaland. Don't think he'll stay at Man City for the rest of his career. There's already rumours that Real Madrid links are happening. He wants to move to Real Madrid in a few years or, a couple more years' time. So, yeah, it makes sense. Man City will demand an astronomical fee for him, maybe even at the time the way football's going, a world record fee. Man United, Alejandro Garnacho. Nearly went for Marcus Rashford, depending on if the Mbappe saga finally is concluded this summer and he does go to Real Madrid. There's rumours that PSG do want Marcus Rashford to come in. Would he leave? But if he does, Man United would demand a substantial figure. But at the moment, that's up in the air, so I'm going to go for Alejandro Garnacho. Just think he did come through Atletico Madrid. If he reaches his potential, he idolises Ronaldo. If the likes of Real Madrid came in and offered him, a Man U X amount, he'd obviously want to emulate his idol and leave. So, pretty simple. Man U get a decent fee, and Garnacho would get his dream move. Newcastle, Alexander Isak. Changed this list this morning when I seen the news about Sandro Tonali. I was going to put Bruno Guimaraes. I do think that Man City have been heavily linked with him. Probably will come calling at some point, or another club like Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc. But I'm going to go for Isak at the time being, because if Tonali does get that ban extended, they are not going to want to lose another key midfielder. Isak, there's always been links to Arsenal. There was prior when he was at Sociedad. Everyone's looking for a striker. Again, Newcastle are another club that apparently do need to sell before they can bring in players for profit and sustainability. I'm hating that word already because we've been burnt by it, which I'll get onto in a minute. So yeah, Isak or Guimaraes, but I'm just going to go for Isak. I do think if they are offered to recoup what they did pay for him and a bit more, even though he's one of their key players and their best striker, he could be on the move. Forest, Murillo. Yeah, I was going to go for Morgan Gibbs-White. This is depending on what happens with Forest this season, if we stay up or not. I think if we do stay up, we have more chance of keeping Morgan Gibbs-White, but I don't think we'll keep Murillo. There's already a host of top European clubs after him. He's only 21 years old. He's athletic. He's quick. He's only played professional football for around, I think, a year and a half. And to be this good already, he's coming to the Premier League like a duck to water. He's been excellent for Forest, one of their standout players. You can see why the top clubs are looking at him. Brazilian international, very soon he probably will be. So Forest are looking for 50 million plus for him. We paid 15, I think. So we'll definitely recoup a big chunk on that. For United, Gustavo Hamer. Yeah, Hamer was a great player for Coventry in the Championship. He's done okay at Sheffield United in a struggling team. Again, if Sheffield United do go down, if a newly promoted club or lower end Premier League club could get him, yeah, Sheffield United probably would charge a bit more, but they'll probably pay that to have a solid Premier League midfielder with experience. Tottenham, Destiny Udogie. Tottenham got a few up-and-coming stars, but I'm going to go for Destiny Udogie. Been terrific this season, one of the best left-backs in the Premier League. All depends where Tottenham will be. If Tottenham is still languishing, in 4th or 5th every season, not winning any trophies, And then a bigger club who are challenging for the leagues and European silverware can call him. A dog is going to want to go and try and win trophies. It's the pinnacle of what footballers want to do. If he continues on his upward trajectory as well, like he's doing, his potential, yes, it won't be cheap. Spurs won't want to sell him, and they'll demand a big fee. West Ham, Jarrod Bowen. Yeah, pretty simple here. Jarrod Bowen. West Ham have got a few decent players, but I don't think anyone will probably get a big fee for, apart from Bowen. Story's been pretty incredible, coming from Hereford to Hull, now to West Ham. Do think there'll be a probably Premier League top 6 side looking at him. I think if Salah left Liverpool, could see Bowen maybe even going to Liverpool, depending. Would he want to leave? Not too sure, but if he did, the fee that West Ham would demand would probably be 40-50 million plus. Wolves, Pedro Neto. Yeah, pretty simple. Again, another one with the profit and sustainability rules hanging over him. Wolves have got to sell before they can buy. There's already links with Pedro Neto. Apparently Tottenham and Arsenal interested. 80 million plus Wolves want. I think that's a figure I've seen being quoted somewhere. So yeah, Wolves are going to get a big paycheck for when Pedro Neto does leave. Had a great season as well with his assists. Bit injury prone, but I don't think teams will mind. I think keep him fit. It'll be a good investment, and Wolves will get a good investment back. So there we have it. There are my picks for the next big transfer fee that your club will receive for one player. Let me know what you do think. Did I miss anyone? Do you disagree with anyone? Is there anyone else I should have suggested? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you did like what you see, make sure you give us a like, subscribe, join our journey. If you want to follow us on social media, the link's in the description below. But thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll speak to you all in a while.